Looking at April is Queen of Pentacles. May is the Page of Pentacles. And then June is the Queen of Wands. And then July is the Death card. And August is the Two of Pentacles. And September is the World card. Okay, so what I see here, and of course I've got clarifiers out for everything else following. Overall, what I see is here probably there is a tower here around the Queen of Wands. So, what I'm going to say is this looks like there's going to be some kind of challenge here up and coming about July or June, sorry. So when I see Queen of Pentacles here in April, this to me indicates that you're using your resources wisely, and especially too with the Nine of Cups, I feel like it's bringing you some satisfaction. So there is some kind of resource or money that's coming in that's just giving you a little bit more of a feeling of everything is wish fulfillment here. So there's something that you're gaining out of that situation here in April. So again, Queen of Pentacles is a really resourceful card. It's somebody who knows how to use their money wisely. And I feel like you're putting it into a scenario here that is built around your uh, something that makes you happy here. So it's something that you're investing in as well as or could be getting money from an investment of some sort. But either way, Queen of Pentacles is a really practical card. So this is somehow connected to, goals being achieved that are in around your level of happiness. We also have some energy that comes in as Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, that kind of thing, but it's also still in around a protective, nurturing kind of quality in around finances. I do see sort of flashes of inspiration coming through with that Queen of Wands here as well. Could be writers involved here too. But I definitely feel like you're building on your achievements either way with that Queen of Pentacles. And certainly it's not impulsive energy here with the next couple of months. I feel like it's really practical, small maneuvers, and just using your money wisely. And again, it still feels like there's a lot kind of even regarding, writing. As I said, because I do feel every time I see anything that's like Queen of Wands or anything Wands oriented, for me, that stands out even more so if I see swords. But right now, your main energy is all kind of practical maneuvers over the next couple of months in terms of putting money on bills, that kind of thing. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So, Page of Pentacles would be the next month. So, May, I feel like there's a small amount of money that's coming through here, but more using practical resources in the month of April. So, some money is coming through that's going to make you happy here in April, probably a little over and above what you're expecting. But in May, it looks like there is some small amount that is going to allow you to sort of move something ahead. So, anyway, there is still, um, as I said, energy around building on your achievements. And it's still kind of small practical steps here. Page of Pentacles, like I said, is kind of a small little token. I'm sort of focusing more on the energy of money and finance right now in this read, but I mean, it certainly could speak to, somebody coming through with an offer as well that's just, in terms of a job, or just make extending an offer in terms of something that you want that's in around your wish fulfillment. There's a small token here that's kind of coming forward here that could be in around signing a contract. Page of Pentacles does sort of come through with contracts and higher educate, or at least education, study of some sort, because it's that student apprentice sort of energy. But again, it is still energy about a beginning here on a journey. So it's a time for you to feel more idealistic. I do feel though as though because the Four of Swords and the Devil energy is sort of tied in here, I feel like there might be some level of I don't know, like, because normally the Four of Swords is a card of sort of standing back or feeling stagnant or something not moving ahead. Or maybe it's just as maybe this is a small amount of money that's coming through, but it's you're in a healing mode of some sort. But it could be due to something toxic in around you as well with that devil energy. So maybe, as I say, there is a sense that because this could be in around a child here as well. But there is energy around healing something that is kind of toxic that you're dealing with in your life at this time, or at least in that period here in May. So I would still say, you could be expecting some messages, and maybe this is you sort of in a waiting kind of period here as well, but it feels like the news is, I don't know, somehow with that devil card. I mean, it can be a card of addiction or anything that you're toxically tied to, but it just feels like there's something that is going to be healing in the month of May. And so maybe the money is a little bit less here. Maybe something along that line is really what I'm kind of seeing more. But it's still practical energy, and there might be a certain level of, like I said, pulling back to heal and slow things down. Just because with that devil card, that's not to me a sign of good use of something. So maybe the money is going in a wrong direction here somehow in the month of May. I would just be really aware of that, because that devil energy is not the healthiest with that. I would say that Four of Swords. And again, it's still sort of small token of Page of Pentacles, so small amount of money in the month of May. This could be also a low period here as well, but I'm not really seeing depression so much in May. It feels like more physical, run down, needing a rest kind of feeling here. Um, like I said, I mean that Four of Swords is a card of you need something to slow down. You're not feeling 100%. And that's probably why I see that Page of Pentacles coming in as a smaller denomination. It's like a small amount of help, possibly, but either way, this is a lack of something because there's an overindulgence here. And I just feel like something's just not quite balanced there in the month of May. So, again, could be self destructive behavior, and you're just feeling like you need to just, you're burned out, you're run down. Um, but there's a restriction here in the month of May. In the month of June, I would say Queen of Wands, highly inspiring sort of card, and definitely feels a lot more magnetic coming through here in that month. Leo sort of stands out for me here also, but I definitely feel like you have some attention that can be drawn to something. However, now that I see the tower down there, there is some kind of sudden, could be sudden inspiration that also that's somehow in around money here also. um like I said, I mean, the tower is definitely uprooting something that's in around inspiration or physicality or something, because the Queen of Wands is really a card of having a lot of energy, and it feels like that is not the case. It feels like the energy's been disrupted somehow with the tower. Something has come in and thrown something off here. And I would say this is in around energy of some sort, because there's a real closed off energy with the Four of Pentacles. Something doesn't feel quite right here in May, and then by June it just feels like there's a sudden situation of some sort here. The Queen of Wands, like I said, normally can be a really business oriented person, and this is somebody who really has the ability to kind of draw attention to themselves. For sure, there's a flair, but there's also kind of a dramatic sort of tone that goes with the Queen of Wands and the Tower. But then again, it goes right back into the Four of Pentacles. So to me, this kind of feels like a health issue. And I don't know why that's coming through, because I don't really feel like I did more specifically ask about money, but it feels like there is something to do with, again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But it just feels like there is some kind of, I don't know if it's just trying to get a better feel. Like it's intense emotions for sure, but it also has a sense of being, I don't know if it's nervous energy, but it's like nerves. Everything is really explosive there. But there's also a sense of being really cut off here, or at least really withdrawn. So I would just say be really careful in the month of June, May and June, because it feels like you just need to balance out your energy a little bit more. And again, forearmed, or what is it? Forewarned is forearmed. But there's just something there again that just feels like you need to be a little more cautious, because even though the Queen of Wands is a card of being kind of robust and whatever, but it's also kind of nervous energy. The problem for me is that I'm seeing it right next to the Tower. So the Tower, when I see an explosive kind of intense energy, and then the Tower, and then complete withdrawal, and then especially this is next to the death card, to me there's an indicator of, especially when there's a lead up to it as well with the devil energy. Capricorn could also be relevant here as well. It feels like there's going to be some kind of upset, and I feel it's in a sort of a physical body way, because that's what the Four of Pentacles really kind of speaks to here as well, because that energy is kind of reversing itself. Like I said, I mean, you go from very charismatic energetic type energy to the Tower, and then it goes right into complete withdrawal or cut off. So for me, there's something here that is, because the Four of Pentacles can be afraid of change. It can be guarding yourself, clinging to something that was once familiar here as well. But it just feels like, you're unhappy maybe with a job that you took on, and there's a real kind of explosive end, or something that was, you know, that kind of disappoints. But I mean, normally the four is about trying to regain that balance again. But because it's followed by the death card, and as well the high priest, that's affecting long term commitments. There's some kind of something here that is transitioning in around a long term connection. I do see possibility of a child here with the sun card also. Um, but this would be into the next month. So this would be for August, or sorry, April, May, June, yeah, July, sorry, into July. There's a sense of some kind of big transition that's taking place around a long-term commitment. Again, this could be a job, or it could be, something else there, but it's definitely, there's a transition of some sort. Could be dealing with a corporate energy here as well, but it's a reason for you to still be optimistic overall. But you are going through something significant there in that period. May, June, and July is what I would say there. So, um, again, like that Four of Pentacles, like I said, for me, something is just being a little bit more restrained. And even if we're talking about health in some way, it still kind of speaks to, hanging on to emotions, or hanging on to, something that is drawing on your energy and really disrupting something with your nerves or your migraines, or something along that line that could be really taking, center stage there. But, just in terms of jobs or money, that kind of thing, it still feels like you're just having to be a little extra cautious here, because something has something's caught you off guard, because you're right here all excited about, going forward and drawing attention to yourself, and then all of a sudden there's this big tower moment that disrupted everything and has closed you right off. So, and again, it's putting you into this period of transition, because the death card is, you are going through some kind of a transition, or there's a transition around a long-term commitment. Somebody, doesn't have to be a love relationship, can be just somebody who's very close to you, that is quite significant in your world. But the death card's a pretty significant card. That's a pretty, and so is the world card over here. So there is some very pronounced energy here in the, coming up for you to deal with. But just to be aware of how you're going to go forward here, because like I said, the transition does seem to be around something that is organization or structure, but then it's also followed by family. So to me, it's a long-term commitment in around a child or something like that that is disrupted here. Um, but I just feel like there could be some kind of, uh, I don't want to say an end to something specifically. It feels like it's more of a metamorphosis of sorts. But there is a traditional situation that is going to be modified in some way here. So again, there's a reason for you to be optimistic here with the Sun card, but I just feel like it is, whatever the change is you're going to be benefiting from whatever you're transitioning through. You're going to benefit from a connection that is rooted in convention and tradition. So somehow systems are benefiting you in the month of July. And again, it'll be at a point where you something kind of disconnected and able to reconnect you. So there's something that is going to reemerge and re-energize you, but there is a significant change coming up, as I said, in around July, that does have some real, it does have some real, it is a real event, I would say, because it's again pretty significant and it's pretty close to the tower over here. And it's almost like these are a lead up. You know, even though the sun card, as I said, is still dealing with revitality and starting to build things up again and wanting to build things up again. And it could even be, traveling, but I don't really see a lot of the other card. Well, I guess the world card is sort of speaks to me as travel as well, but it to me is still around, Leo is also kind of relevant here as well. But it just feels like something will illuminate, but not until after some kind of huge event is dealt with in terms of the death card. I mean, the world card in itself, of course, is a conclusion. So there's something that some cycle that's completely ended here. Um, and again, it's kind of sort of nervous tension that kind of builds up with all of that too. But even with the world card, it is still, you are kind of coming full circle in a situation, resolving an end, and there's a lot of success and completion that comes through with the world card. So it's some kind of huge transition. It's some kind of huge turnaround in some way, that will allow you to see some fulfillment or some growth because you've got a quick incoming message and around, could be around a child here as well, because we do have the Sun card, we do have the Page of Wands, but there is definitely something in regards to something moving ahead. So by September, I feel like there is a completion of a cycle, but there is definitely some potential in advancing something. But again, August is kind of in that energy here as well of finances. You're juggling again here. This isn't a lot of real strong money sense, especially when I see it followed up by the Five of Cups. You're disappointed in something. And actually, to be honest, the more I see that, because you go from feeling on top of the world here in June, and then this disruptive tower energy, which immediately brings you right back into hang on to my money. The death card means to me that there could even be an end to a job of some sort, even though there is something that's further out, because you may be still bringing in a little bit of money here in the next month in August, but it is very strained. You're very sad. You're very disappointed. Something didn't quite come through as you had hoped. Again, death card here is, some kind of a financial loss and certainly does speak to having to let go of something. So there's something you have to release, and let kind of metamorphosize, as they say, before you're really able to get some kind of gain there. Uh, but again, there's something around, I don't know if that's government, but it's a business sort of structured environment. And again, there is some sense of you needing to regenerate because it feels like there was a big change that occurred the month before, and you're having to regenerate, and you're doing that, and it is moving, but it's slow moving. So, as I said, this could be the loss of a job, but it's somehow transforming you in some way. Like, I feel like you need to really integrate something at a very deep level. Something's really disappointed you here. Financially, and I just feel like you're really going to have to shift your perspective, because as I say, I mean, you're moving into this, um there's a change of your circumstances there anyway, but the Two of Pentacles, like I said, is still kind of juggling back and forth. It's a back and forth energy of I've got to pay my bills, I've got to get this done. I don't have an awful lot here because I'm sitting here in the Five of Cups energy, But the 2 is still finding some balance, but the 5 means you need to make some changes emotionally because there's a real letdown here. Um, like I said, that 2 of Pentacles energy still speaks to, you having to really juggle out your time and your skills. It's sort of a chaotic environment to some extent in August for you. Um, yeah, but you really need to adjust something. And again, it looks like it's in around your emotions. It feels like you were disappointed in something. You were hoping something was going to come through, and it's not coming through. So it's throwing you off balance here a little bit. But like I said, I mean, there's just a sense of you need to adapt to the circumstances. You need to juggle it out, pre-prioritize that kind of thing. And again, you'll be able to balance that out over time, but you're just spreading yourself too thin here because with that 5 of Cups energy further out, again, this is in August. You can always prepare for this. Like I said, this is energy that is always mutable. It's something that you can always change. It's not predictions. Nothing is set in stone here. Energy is something that's around you that's what you're moving into currently with the frame of mind that you have. But again, you can, change your goalpost and make a new path here. But again, the 5 of Cups is still that energy of feeling let down. Could be wanting to, you could be wanting to sort of, it's more of a, like the 4 is really about balance, but the 5 is really about you need to make a change. So you need to either find another source of income of some sort here with the 5 of Cups, or you need to try to find a way to, I don't know, be more creative with your finances. But there's a setback here for sure in the month of August. And it just feels like you're a little unhappy. You can't really concentrate so well here um, with the level of disorder that kind of comes in here. Like I said, more of a lead up to all of this, something that's really going to impact you here more so in the month of July. July seems to be the big issue here. So maybe you were expecting help in some regard here and it didn't come through. Or there's a job change of some sort, but there's a heavy reliance on a particular situation. Again, it could be a job or it could be, childlike quality person, something like that here, because the Sun card is sort of speaking to that. And it's somehow you've been disappointed in some way, but there will be some movement. As I said, further out in September, it looks like a new job that's coming through there. You'll get rapid communication, but you are definitely going to be in a bit of a struggle, I would say, from um, that would be June, July, and August, I think is really a time where you just need to be careful of the energy that you're around. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Again, keep moving forward. It's not predictions, it's only energy. Energy you can always move around, but just be as they say, I can never say the thing. Forewarned is forearmed, something along that line. So, as I said, I mean, you can work with, putting out more resumes in a month the month before, if you feel like there is something that feels like a shaky ground. Like I said, in the month of June, April, May, June, July. Sorry, June is going to be a tower moment. And again, you're going to be hanging on to your money. So something's going to catch you off guard. But by July, you're still in that moment of, I've got to figure out how to, get out of this scenario here. And you're still struggling even into August. But just know that, take extra measures to double up your efforts as you know you're moving closer to those months. So, anyway, that's what I have for you for Gemini for the month of April, May, June, July, August, and September. So take care, keep moving forward, and I'll do a few more reads here as we go along.